Hi, Prosperity Team. It's Dr. Money. I hope you've had a good day today and that you are ready to join me in the prosperity corner of the universe by entering the circle of well-being. Now, what we do is we imagine this wonderful big circle of light, and this is the circle of well-being. That means when we step into it, we just automatically feel better. And we step into it and we begin a conscious breath process. We breathe in deeply, all the way to our belly, and we breathe out. And as we breathe in the goodness of life. And as we exhale, we send that goodness to all people on earth. And as we breathe in synchronicity, miracles, and magic. And as we breathe out, we breathe this same out to all beings on earth, humans, animals, plants, the ocean, the air, all to work in harmony, all in a synthesis of well-being. So breathing in and breathing out, it is a merry-go-round of well-being, merry, happy go-round, a circle, breathing in and breathing out. We can all take just a few moments every day to imagine that we're stepping into this well-being, and then imagine that everyone else has this same opportunity. We're sending it to them through our consciousness, through our breath, through our thoughts. We are servants of life, serving ourselves and serving others. A dish of goodness, like if you were going to the goodness store and you just took an ice cream scoop and you scooped up some goodness. I'll have some goodness and I'll give you some goodness too. And we want our minds to think in new and different ways because we get habituated into thinking the same way. And so you can quit the breathing, or you can breathe the whole video. It doesn't matter. But today I want to talk about doing different things in our mind so that we can change our brain tracks. You know what train tracks are, don't you? Well, train tracks are pretty much set. You can maybe change it so that you can go this way or that way, but there are not very many train tracks that you can go on. They're all over the country, but they're all set. But we want brain tracks. We want to think about abundance and prosperity in new and innovative ways that no one's ever thought of. We want to be adventuresome when we think about prosperity. We want our gratitude to expand in ways we never imagined that they could. Have you ever felt grateful for anything? Suppose you felt so grateful, so happy, so joyful, so peaceful that you just fell down in happiness. And maybe you just started laughing out loud. And how long has it been since you laughed out loud? This is the ultimate prosperity, and that is the feeling of happiness and joy and prosperity and well-being. It's something that when we go deep into it, that it becomes the source of who we are, even through the tough times. What it does is, can you imagine if we had a laughter and a happiness and a prosperity filter that we saw the world through? Because most of us see the world through a lack filter, through a limit filter, through a preconditioned filter. But suppose we begin to see through an illuminative filter, an imaginative filter, a creative filter, a what could happen filter, an adventuresome filter. Because it makes such a big difference. When I get up and I think, oh, I've got to do this, that, and the other, then I don't feel abundant. I feel constrained and constricted. So we have to wake up every morning and think toward our goodness, to participate, to be a planner, to be an architect of our life. We need to plan our life every moment. And I don't mean plan by just getting in our head and just having so many plans we can't stand anything. I mean, just an ultimate plan for happiness, an ultimate plan for goodness, an ultimate plan and belief in prosperity itself. Because if we don't, it's not going to happen. We do have to participate diligently. We have to be on the lookout. We have to be on the lookout for these things because we've been on the lookout for something else. And our minds will default to the bad stuff if we don't consciously look at the good stuff. Norman Vincent Peale did a great thing when he began to bring positive thinking into being. Norman Vincent Peale was a student of a person named Florence Scovel Shinn. I don't know whether you've heard of her or not, but she wrote The Game of Life and How to Play It. And she wrote a lot of affirmations, and you should look her up, Florence Scovel Shinn. And Florence Scovel Shinn was also influenced by a lot of the esoteric teachings, and she was able to present them in such a way that they were palatable, understandable, easy for the common people to understand. And then Norman Vincent Peale took those particular teachings and he popularized them by bringing them through the Christian message. So it doesn't matter how we get there, because joy is the source of our being, and joy is, and it is the source of our abundance as well. Because remember, abundance and prosperity are different than being wealthy. Now, wealthy people can be abundant and prosperous, but we can also have plenty of money and be very rich and not have an abundant life because we're miserable. But a lot of people think that you can't have money and be happy. That they say, oh, well, look at them, they're wealthy but they're miserable. Well, I mean, there's plenty of poor people that are miserable too. So misery is not something that occurs because you have money. Misery is something that occurs is because we have been habituated to misery, because we've had pasts that lock us into certain brain patterns, certain thinking patterns, and we're the ones that have to say, aha, I can change this. I can have a different life. It doesn't matter whether we're 10 years old or 100 years old. We can always change. And I always have us breathing at the beginning of this video, because the breath also can make a change in us. If we begin to consciously breathe, we can. If we change our breath, we can change our life. If we change our mind, we can change our life. We can change. We can change. If you're a hardaholic, an H-A-R-D, hardaholic, a hardaholic makes life hard or difficult and believes that it can never change. It says, and you have to suffer about it, and that's not true. It can change. Your life can change. My life can change. Like I'm saying, it doesn't matter whether you're 6 or 60. You can change. Now is the time. Now is the time. This is Dr. Money. I want you to remember for sure that I am on your side and that I love you.